Everybody, John Ponick with the Mojave Valley Daily News. This is our regular Wednesday Q&A segment. And today, again, another person I don't think I need to introduce, but I will. Olivia McCormick. Boy, I can't even say Olivia McCormick of this or of that. I mean, I could say of, but I would be here for 20 minutes saying of McCormick Construction, of Gary Keith Park, of... We got a million things here. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you.
All right, so we got a bunch of things, there are a few things to talk about, but the main reason we're here and what we're going to start with, because we don't know how long this part is going to take, is the Arizona's 48 most intriguing women.
Yes.
So let me go through what I've got, and then if you want to chime in at any point, or if you want to, but I'm going to set the stage here. So remember, you can, any questions that you have for Olivia, just type them in the comments here, either on Facebook or Jeff's monitoring our YouTube. Yeah, make sure you share this so everyone knows that she's on here, and they can fire questions at her. We filter them though, so you know, you owe somebody out there some money and they want to know where their money is, we'll just skip right over that one.
Okay.
All right, so here's where we go. Arizona's 48 most intriguing women. It's put on by it's a partnership with the Arizona Historical Society. 48 Arizona Women honors professional and non-professional women from diverse backgrounds whose leadership and commitment are contributing in a positive way to the future of Arizona. Categories include education scholars, entertainment, sports, art, culture, history, government, legislative, judicial, social change, environmental, business, economics, which you won for, or you were nominated for, science, medicine, research, technology, innovation, entrepreneurs, philanthropy, nonprofit, military, public safety, family, community, and construction, industrial, transportation. So the first time this was done in 2010 as our Centennial Project, right?
Yes, it was to coincide with the 2012 Centennial celebration for the state.
Okay, so Jeff, can you, something I can,
figure out where that's coming from.
probably this headphone over here maybe. All right, so Olivia was nominated and was one of the inaugural honorees.
One of the honorees, yes.
Yeah, so
I was shocked.
I'm not going to show you the thing here, but this is some of the things. So this was back in 2010. Some of the things at that point that we had already heard about Olivia was had moved here in 1980 from Salinas, California. Immediately jumped in and was with the Bullhead Area Chamber of Commerce. That was before we were even a city, so you were kind of the de facto government for the city, huh?
For a short window of time, but shortly after that we incorporated. So.
Shortly, but you had to be there for the transition. There was this whole sewer issue. Fun?
Everything.
The comments I read, it didn't sound like it was that much fun.
Well, it was fun, but don't read those comments.
She also was involved in highway improvements, the planning and implementation of the Laughlin Bridge, involved with the Boys and Girls Club. I'm going to save this one because this is one of my favorites here. McCormick Realty, the McCormick Professional Center, the building of St. Margaret Mary's Catholic Church, which is a phenomenal thing. And then the initiation of the Colorado River Leadership
Program,
yeah.
Yes.
Which I am a graduate of.
Yes.
A proud graduate of. Another phenomenal thing done through the Chamber and the Women's Council. So great things. So tell us a little bit more about this, if you would. The last time the group that you were honored with, Sandra Day O'Connor, I think most people have heard of her. Cindy McCain, Arizona State Senator Kimberly Yee, former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, former Secretary of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano, Nicola Winkle, founder of the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, Gerda Weissman Klein, author, historian, speaker, and Holocaust survivor, and Diane Humetua,
Yes.
the first female Native American U.S. attorney.
Yes.
That's a pretty good company to be in.
I mean, amazing company. And there's a number of others that are equally as impressive, even though they're not as well-known names per se, but just what they've done in their communities, and that's impacted the state as well. That's what it's about. That's honoring women who are impacting their communities, the state, and beyond.
Right.
And so it was an extreme honor. I can't even begin to tell you. My good friend out of this is Elaine Scruggs, who was the mayor of Glendale, who brought the stadium, everything around the stadium really was due to her efforts. And at the end of the day, look what she accomplished. I mean, obviously she had team and city council and that kind of thing, but she really was the driving force. And just to sit down with her and be a part of the committee that we are on as the steering committee for this project and the Legacy project is it's humbling and exciting at the same time.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about the Legacy project because that going through the press release at the very end, they go, "Oh, by the way, we're going to be doing the Legacy project."
Yeah. Oh, by the way.
But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So these are people. So one of the things that we wanted to Jennifer Spacek. These are women I aspire to be like. I wrote a story or a column probably a year ago now, or pretty close to a year ago, about women in our community, and I pointed out some of the strong women that we have in our community. But it seemed to me that the leadership, the strong female leadership that we have in our community, are all my generation or older. They're not. To me, it seems like we're not really getting. In my column, anyway, I said we don't really have those young ones here that we need to replace us in the future. And I was immediately pounded with, well, what about Lori DeShane? What about Jennifer Portwood? What about all these people? So they're out there, huh?
They are out there, and you'd be surprised. And that brings us to the 48 women. The new decade or the next decade, which is what we're talking about now. We are actually taking nominations for women, and just you have to think outside the box. Any woman that you feel has been impactful to the area, you can nominate them. And we had hundreds of nominations the first go around, and they narrowed it down to 48. And so, and I was blessed to be from Mojave County, which is the only honoree from Mojave County, but they really went out into the rural communities as well. So you have to be looking at women who they've been quietly working towards making Bullhead City better, or the county, or the state. And we have women like that here.
We do.
We really do. And so we have nomination forms available. You can go online for those nomination forms. It's a simple process, but of course, the more information you can garner on that individual, the more they will be presented in a higher light to the committee, the steering committee.
All right. So let's, what they have on here as far as the criteria is the impact that their leadership, accomplishments, and dedication have had on the state and the nation, their influence as role models and visionaries, and their ability to relate to a wide range of people. So those are the things that I guess the committee is, and you're part of that review committee? Are you?
I'm not part of the
know?
review committee,
Okay.
but I'm on the steering committee.
The steering committee,
Yes.
okay.
They'll have representatives from the Historical Society and 48 women, so yeah, there will be a really good cross-section of judges.
So when we're talking about outside the box, or not necessarily, we're not saying, all right, it needs to be, even though we mentioned some politicians in here, it doesn't need to be a local politician or a county or whatever politician. It can be, especially like the philanthropic part of it, somebody that is with one of our 501c3s, that we have 100 of them here in town.
Yes.
Just anybody, when you think about a female in our community that is really a woman that's really stepping forward and leading our county or leading our area, that's who we're looking for.
Exactly. It can be that entrepreneur who, started from the ground up and raised her business, follows certain criteria and ideals that's a part of their mission and their work, that really takes in the human nature. I mean, there's just so many ways to look at this that people will start to come to mind when you just, like I said, think outside the box.
And that's funny when Jennifer mentioned that these are women I aspire to be like. Jennifer was in our office a few days ago, and she started a business here, and it's doing well. And she told me that she's getting ready to start another business down in town. She's young, seems very motivated. Those are the kind of people her or Jade Mallory, those are the people that I kind of think about. People that said, all right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this and make it happen. I'm not going to be that quiet person sitting in the background and, that kind of thing.
It's interesting in the leadership program, we always talked about, a leader is an individual that has a vision and that can impart that vision to others and bring them along for the ride. And so, again, that's another aspect of looking at women who are making that impact, are impacting other women or other individuals or young people, educators, teachers that are influencing the youth of the day, which we're trying to capture in the future for these kinds of leadership roles.
That's funny. I didn't even think about teachers. Yeah, when you talk about, boy, how many people influence, who influences more people than a teacher? Really. Let's talk a little bit about the Legacy Project.
The Legacy Project has been really a long time coming, even though it's been 10 years. We started out with a facility in downtown Phoenix. Most of you might have even visited. It's the mining museum. We looked at that during this just post-centennial to bring it to life and have a meeting area in downtown Phoenix that the 48 women could operate out of in their mission to advance women's issues and raise up leaders, in various and sundry ways. We were partners with the Arizona Historical Society on that project. Unfortunately, it fell through. Then comes the orientation theater project that they presented to us, and of course we would love to partner with you. So if you haven't been to the Historical Society Museum in Papago Park, there are several theaters and then the history part of it, the exhibits and whatnot. But there's an orientation theater, a small theater basically, and then a larger staged facility that you can hold events in. The orientation theater is an era of the 90s. It's got the green and the turquoise and the orange and it's so out of sync. And it's antiquated and it doesn't serve the purpose. So we took the project on. We partnered with Avid Architects. The owner, Tammy, is a female. And then we partnered with
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yes, it really is. So we have our contractor is also a female, Lorraine Bergman. She's had her company since 2015, and she's just done an amazing job in the Valley. So we've partnered together, and we came up with this fabulous design for the orientation theater. I don't have it visually for you, but it's just it's a complete transition of what was something out of the late 90s, early 90s.
Shows up. Does that show up,
Does
Jeff?
that show up?
Yeah, I can see it.
Awesome.
I don't know if it's got too much green in it or
If you would have told me before, I would have put it up there for you.
Oh, I'm sorry, but he
Okay.
didn't know. It's my fault.
That's
I take
okay.
full responsibility.
No problem.
Yeah.
It looks very futuristic.
You can see it, yeah.
It's wonderful, and the wonderful thing about this project is that it's fully integrated with IT technology. We will literally be able to transmit digitally out to every historical facility, museum in the state of Arizona that wants to tag on with it. So we could literally be listening to a presenter, a well-known presenter out of this theater, and we can set it up so that participants can watch it at our museum here in Bullhead City. So this was very exciting for me because it brings the rural aspect. It really bridges that urban-rural divide.
Yeah, and that's one of the things they talked about in the press release here was challenging times of the pandemic, poverty, unemployment, food insecurity, and other issues, being able to bridge the urban and rural divide through the digital age or the digital
Yes.
part of this.
Yes.
And that's something that I know that some of our area legislators have really tried to address, is the differences between Maricopa County and
yes.
us.
Yes.
So that's pretty. That's
That comes
pretty
up a
awesome.
lot even now, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
I bet.
So taking this project even a bit further, our legacy project includes not only the construction side, which is a $2 million campaign, and so we've initiated that, beginning with the Circle of 48 Women. And so we've reached out to them, and we're looking for them to set the tone for contributions. We anticipate that construction will actually begin in October, and that
Oh,
the
wow.
project will be completed in April. And
April of 2022.
two. That's correct. Fast-paced.
That is very fast paced.
Now, mind you, we've been working on this for a few years.
And you
It
know-
didn't just happen
yeah.
overnight, right?
And you know a little something about construction.
A
So
little bit,
sometimes
yes.
construction schedules
Yeah.
aren't necessarily.
And capital campaigns, you know, so.
Yes.
But the second part of that is a $3 million endowment program. And that's where we start to work with sponsors, UPS, Wells Fargo, the larger companies that have initiatives that they're promoting with their corporations, that we can bring speakers on those programs into this facility. And then those sponsorships are culminated through this endowment program.
Wow.
So it's just going to be perpetuating throughout. So the next 48 Women Decade selection will have such a great legacy to pass on and move forward as well.
You know, I think this is probably perfect timing, don't you think, with all the
It is. Mm-hmm.
social stuff that's going on right now? I think that there's a real need for this, recognizing intriguing, you can say intriguing, but I think that it's more empowered or maybe unrecognized in the past kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's great to see. So going back onto the 48 most intriguing women, they're going to have a 140-page plus coffee table book that
Yes.
will have the
I should have brought
information
mine. Darn. I have one from the first go around.
It will be announced early in 2022. Then the book will come out. Formally, they will have the honors will be formally recognized at a spring 2022 luncheon and VIP reception, and then the book will be available to purchase in mid 2022. The Legacy Project, you're saying, is October to begin, and hopefully by April of 2022, somewhere in there, that it's completed and ready. Wow, that's great.
You know, barring, construction issues, like
Yes.
materials or things like that. But
And then
Yeah.
is there something involved in getting all of the outlying museums and that up to speed on this? Is there a way? I know that they're talking about they're getting some broadband infrastructure for all the rural areas. Is there a way of tying those in together to help get this information from the Legacy or from the center out to all these outlying museums?
we will, now, that's technology, and, that's not my forte.
That's not your thing?
That's not my forte.
That's not
no.
what I heard.
No, it's not. I don't even do much social media, which is kind of sad. The groups that I'm involved with, they say, now put this out on your social media, and I go, can you give me another way to do that without,
Can you just
Twittering
mail it to
or-
me?
Yeah, right. Snail it, would you? No, but anyway, I just, but that said, yes, there will be, it's basically like cable TV or fiber optic TV or anything like that. So I'm going to assume that we should be able to get whatever company to provide that technology capability at our museum.
We're talking
Write
to you,
that down.
TWN.
Write
We're
that
talking
down.
to you.
Yes.
All right, so Maria asked about how to nominate people. You can go to the website, right, which is 48women.org. You can get paper nomination forms if you are social media unavailable by calling 602-896-9000.
You can pick
Yeah.
up forms from my office if you'd like.
Oh, there
Because
you go.
I have them there as well.
Oh,
The
did you
link?
put it in?
Okay, good.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you can
All
click
right.
on that and get them from there. What a fantastic program, and the fact, I think that it says something when I was reading in your bio in here about if you don't like it, get out of the way, and I'll run you over or
Oh,
something like
gosh.
that. And I'm
You
like,
see.
that is Olivia McCormick. Like, you can help, or you can try and get in the way, and I'll just run you over.
I'm so much more, easygoing these
Oh.
days. What can I say? Those,
You got a couple more minutes, so you can give us an update on Gary Keith Park?
I would love to, yes.
Please tell us what's going on over there. It
So
looks
they-
amazing,
Ye-
especially at night. Oh my God, I love
Yes,
driving by
yes,
it at
yes.
night.
So we're, now that the turn lane is completed, because
Mm-hmm.
that was a bit of an obstacle, we have several things that are going to be going on now, the end of August, going through September. We're going to finish off the walking paths up along the highway to the north end stoppage. So there's phase 3 is the pavilion.
Okay.
Which we can talk a little bit about that too. So phase 1 was infrastructure, phase 2 was what's there now. The grass, the civic walkway, all of the landscape improvements and the walking paths. So we're going to finish the walking paths up to the bathroom facility, and then bring them back into the event arena where there's actually areas that you can walk into the arena from the bathrooms. So we're going to identify those, finish up the pathways, and finish up the landscape rock along the highway up to the high school. And in conjunction with that, we're installing the retaining wall, which will be the basis for our pavilion location.
All right, and that's going to be on like the south,
The northeast. So just
northeast. Oh, really?
Mhm.
So
The-
facing away from the road, though. Is that right?
yes, the
Okay.
back of the pavilion will be facing the road, which the donors' recognition, it'll be named after the donors. So
Okay.
that will be, blank, blank, blank pavilion, whatever.
That's a funny name.
Blank, blank, blank pavilion. Mr.
Jackie,
and
wha-
Mrs. Blank.
Jackie Wallen, Olivia is my hero.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking
So-
of people that you can get out of the way or you can get run over, hey, Jackie Wallen.
You know what's a thing you have to just be able to say, no, we should do it this way. Not run over you, but, just say,
That's
could
a
you just step
thing.
aside a little bit and let me, do my thing?
That's a
Which,
polite.
yeah.
Yeah.
See how much better I am now that
Yes.
I'm 10, 15 years
Things are
older?
different, yes. It's because there's witnesses here.
Yes,
Olivia,
there
that's
are
why.
witnesses here. What can I say? Yes, so the north end includes the pavilion, which has side ramadas. Those are being funded by the Legacy Foundation to the tune of $250,000. They've already been a strong grant provider for the improvements that are in there now.
Nancy Monjo, got to write her
Yes,
down for
yes.
the 48 nominee.
There you go. Now you talk about a mover and a shaker right
Yes,
there.
100%.
Yeah, good. I love that. So I'm so glad. Write that down. Then, along with the pavilion, the grass, the irrigation, the grassy knoll, there are 4 picnic ramadas that are designed into that north end, as well as 4 over on the south end, which we're getting ready to start formulating. We have 2 $25,000 donors for ramadas, one being the Peterson Burge Enterprises, that's Crystal Burge, who is from Kingman, but she owns the Taco Bells, her
Oh.
and her brother, which is a very interesting story. An amazing woman. But that said, they are a sponsor. McCormick Construction is a sponsor. So we have 2 of the 8 that we're going to put in. And they run over $25,000, believe it or not. But
All right, so if you want one of those sponsorships, you can figure it's going to be 25 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and what it includes is
Go half and half on one, Jeff?
the concrete.
I don't have
yeah.
that kind of money. Or I
We'll
would.
split it.
Yeah, see. But do you know someone? Yeah.
That maybe.
Yeah. So we have cooperation with, we're working with several parties at this juncture that we could realize the dream of the pavilion here on the short term. And I can't really talk about that too much because it's not solidified, but there's a very strong possibility that we're going to see that come to fruition here.
And the only what you're waiting on is the sponsors for the pavilion, or do you have those already lined up too?
It's the collaboration of several entities coming together to
Really?
make that happen.
Good.
Yeah. So, and then in addition to that, the sign on the highway, the monument sign that will have a reader that we can actually promote things that are going on in the
Events that
park
are coming
system,
up.
events. And it'll also have the Jim Ennis Memorial Event Arena name on it because Kiwanis named the event arena after him, and the pavilion sponsor, and then just basic information about who, what, when, and where. So it's exciting.
It's very
I
exciting.
know. I might be able to wrap this project up sooner than I thought, so that would be nice.
And when you wrap it up, you're handing it off to the city, huh?
Well, the park is the city's park,
Yeah.
yes. But we have, we're through Community Pride.
Mhm.
And Community Pride Advocates, we just authorized a new board of directors, young women, I might say. I'm very excited about this.
Very nice.
Kathy Rajanimi, young.
Catherine, yep. I know Catherine.
Patty Stewall, Carrie Faring.
Ugh.
I mean,
Her?
it's an amazing group of young women that will perpetuate the program. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Community Pride will keep their hands in it once the city owns
Community
it
Pride is
still?
going to continue to provide the annual White Night in the Park event,
As a
which
fundraiser.
which will move to the Ramada
Mhm.
or the the pavilion, We have a stage. We'll have entertainment. We'll have the grassy knoll. We'll have the lights. It'll be fabulous. So, the White Night will be the fundraising portion for park improvements or whatever
Okay.
Community Pride decides to do, because I won't be there at that time. I know.
See, I'm trying to get her to keep saying
yeah.
the Ramada or the
Pavilion.
Pavilion.
Who the pavilion
hoping
sponsor is?
Hoping at some point she goes,
You'll get the name?
the MEC Pavilion or
Right.
the Dot Foods
Keep
Pavilion.
trying. She's pretty smart.
She is.
Yeah.
It's not working so far.
I can't give up information until I'm able to give up
Yeah,
information.
it's not her first rodeo. She knows
No,
what's up.
right. So you can't, you don't want to, yes, you don't want to stir the pot. You want to
Jack?
just let it be.
Jacqueline Kissinger says Mojave Flagstone placed the Gary Keith stone sign and other stone signs look like.
That was before me.
We know that I'm part of the Kiwanis Club that
Mm-hmm.
Jim Ennis was, and we just okayed some stuff the other day talking about some things that we're going to be trying to assist over there. But really, that's where Cornfest is. So we
Yeah.
started. We've been talking a lot about Cornfest and how
Yes.
and Trunk or Treat out there
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So
Well, I'm happy that we have this collaboration going on, and that I'm confident it can come together and get that done so that the park is completed. And then Community Pride and Gary Keith Park Committee, which will ultimately go away, will continue to provide landscape and, assist the Colorado River Women's Council to get their benches in from their leadership program, and just continue to make some progress in there. I do have one exciting thing I can talk about, and
Let's
this is a sponsorship that I'm looking for. And what I want to do is, in the grassy knoll on the south end of the park, I want to create a harmony park. Have you seen those?
yes.
Oh, my
it's,
gosh.
It's instruments that are placed out in the park, and kids can come along
Yes.
and
Yes.
they're anchored in place.
Yes,
You
they
play
are.
them there.
So there's xylophones and drums, and they can be little flower drums for the smaller kids and bigger drums and I've actually seen where they've had high school students come in and do concerts. They've practiced on the
Really?
on the instruments and then provide concerts. So
pretty cool.
I'm if anybody is interested in that, I have a sponsor package I'm working on that, if they're interested, it'd be a great business opportunity. There'd be a nice sign at the entry of the park, the so-and-so Harmony Park and Family Picnic Area. It's just a great sponsor opportunity.
All right, we're not going to talk about how much it is.
Nope.
We will put Olivia's contact information in the comments here, so you can reach out to her if that's something you're interested in, and if that's turns out to be more that you want to spend, you have other things as well over there, right?
Oh, yes.
So she's got plenty of places to spend your money.
1 ton
so-
for $100. Buy
Oh, that's
a
right,
ton of rock for $100,
That's
or
right.
buy 10 ton for $1,000.
For a G.
It all goes down.
Olivia, thank you so much.
my pleasure.
I love the idea, the 48 most intriguing women, and I think it's, congratulations to you. When you look around our community, there are so many women that are doing huge things in our community that
Huge.
It's exciting to see, and I'm glad that women in general are getting the recognition that they, in the past. We were talking yesterday about, it was the anniversary of women getting the right to vote.
Yeah,
I just think,
remember that? Yep.
Yeah, it's just so weird, you know.
Remember that?
So, thank you for
Okay,
joining me.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Everybody, we will not have a Valley Voices tomorrow. We have our open house tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock, so come on down. You can sit here and
Grab a picture of yourself.
we'll get a picture of you
Yeah.
in the green screen. We'll put something funky behind you. Jeff will,
Sure will.
so that's 4 to 6 tomorrow, celebrating our 30th anniversary. We also have Daily Dose in the morning at 7:30, so please check it out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.